monitor to show up on those monitors. However, we can do that. I have to draw it in 90 minutes, so if you could just pick up the pace. Thank you for the clarification. Yeah, much typo when I draw. No, come on, just don't encourage him. See that? It's not performance art.
I like the typing. I like the typing there. Now see, now I feel self-conscious. But there are microphones out there, right? Well, how can we help you today?
I would like to thank you guys for doing the D&D podcast. Not only are they hilarious, but they were what convinced my boyfriend to actually join me in playing D&D. You
flipped the script.
But he didn't know how it worked. He'd never seen anyone play, and he thought that he was worried that he would have to do too much improv, and it would be hard to do.
You know, and every table is different. Like, not every table is, like, I know that in my state, which is like 2 years strong now, is that together? I mean, those guys, they love to play Dungeons and Dragons, but they're not, you know, they don't want to do improv comedy. You know, I mean, those are two different kinds of people sometimes. And like I said, every table is different, and I mean, it may be that eventually you'll find that he really enjoys that, but that's kind of you don't want to start that way, you know?
It's listening to the podcast, let him see how the game was played, and so thank you for letting me share something I love with the person I love. And to that end, I need you guys something. It's Splug from the first podcast.
Wow! Well, here, can I take that
Wow, what a treasure. He's so fearsome. And to scale.
Anyway, so my actual question is, in the last couple of years, you guys have been branching out into, like, you know, lookouts,
That's true.
Are there things that, aside from Penny Arcade, like, not to say that Penny Arcade's ever gonna, like, you know, lose the magic, knock on wood. Is there stuff that you guys want to pursue outside of what's taking up a lot of your time at the arcade?
You know, I mean, whenever we feel like it's time to do something else, we just do it. I think that's what allows Penny Arcade to retain, like to still be fun for us after like 12 years, is that we love it, but we don't feel like we have to do Penny Arcade every day. Every update day, and that's how you end up with film noir robots and Boy Scouts that fight manticores. And, you know what I'm saying? Like whenever we feel like we need to branch out, we'll just branch out in the space of the actual script. And thus far, you guys have endured that from us. Like, it's like in worst case scenario, like a day later, we'll have a Penny Arcade script up again. So.
Hi, two things. First, this is my second PAX, my first PAX East, and I went to the script panel there, and I was wondering, Mike, if you could give us a hot dog fairy.
Even though only been at PAX East they know our strange ways.
Yes, yes we do.
Here we go.
Alright. And while he's drawing that, Jerry, yesterday you chose a sonic screwdriver over a lightsaber.
Oh, I see the scarf. I know what's going on here.
It was a fine choice, by the way.
Thank you.
And I was wondering, who is your doctor?
Yeah, oh shit. I actually like David Tennant. I've seen a lot of Boo, and if you have Netflix, like, you can watch Boo and tell your eyes fall out of your head. I thought that he really sold it, especially near the end of his run, where sort of as a character he sort of thought, oh, right, I'm a time lord, I can actually do whatever I want, and it doesn't matter, and I'm basically God. So I mean, that realization from an actor of that power really worked for me. But I think especially at the end of last season, I thought Smith was acquitting himself pretty well. Thank you.
It's not done for you, ladies and gentlemen.
That teaching your kids to play games is worth it, and having children.
Sort of split the second part in there.
I did not make that choice.
Me. Well, the first part is easy. Of course, teaching them to play games is great. It gives you something to do together, you know. As far as the second part,
How did they convince you?
Well, your story is actually pretty funny.
nothing quite like making your own person and then teaching them to do whatever you want.
After they found out that they were pregnant, that's how it's said now. After they found out that they were pregnant, Mike looked at me with fear and anger in his eyes and says, "You need to get on this shit." I try to support him in all endeavors.
Quite small. I was just wondering.
In relation to the entire world.
I was wondering what your reaction was when you found out you were one of the Time Magazine's 100 most influential people.
I mean, it's no bad romance. You have 4 million views or 280 million views or whatever. Shock and horror. In fact, I think there's an episode of the show where the cameras are actually on when Robert tells us that that's the fact. I think you can more or less discern our disbelief, and that way I think that our people have in general of casually dismissing accolades. It's sort of hard for me to internalize something like that, and so generally I just sort of push it up the side and say, that's a neat thing, that's nice. It doesn't really have anything to do with what I want to do, which is communicate to people, but it's nice to have it.
Alright, thanks.
Hey.
What's up? Are you okay?
Yeah, I came from the UK, just be a show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I was just wondering if you've ever thought about making PAX for the UK, or anything regular.
Yeah. I think about that all the time. Like, I need the barest excuse to go to the UK. I want to go to that monument that they have over Torchwood. That's what I want. But no, I mean, that's always a fantasy. It's like once we get this one, because we had to move into new venues and try to figure out a new PAX Prime, and then PAX EC moving into a new venue next time. But our fantasy is to have something to show in the UK, definitely.